What's that?
I don't know if we can lead with that.
What, with sloppy clap?
Got a case of sloppy clap.
Ugh. Clap's bad enough. And the sloppy claps. Holy shit. Once you get the clap, it doesn't go away. Is that the one that doesn't go away? It's crabs.
I thought it was syphilis. No.
I think none of them are fun.
Which one's the clap? The clap's gonorrhea.
Okay, yeah.
Or is it
Once
chlamydia?
you get
It's one of the ones.
chlamydia, gonorrhea. You might not be having a flare
Herpes
up.
is the one that doesn't go away.
You might not be having a flare up, but it ain't going anywhere. So for all of you suffering with the clap out there, just deal with it.
Well, that one's just antibiotics.
Someone knows a little too much.
I'm pretty sure it's herpes. That's the one that's a virus.
All right.
I don't know.
I'm not sure.
Someone
either.
who's what specialist do you see for that? Sexual health?
Prostitute.
Okay.
I think they'll be able.
Well,
to
yeah,
fill
there's
you
all
in.
the doctors. There's like they've all got those names. Like, who do you go to see for that kind of thing?
Well, I don't know if
Is
it's
it
just.
your GP?
I don't know. Yeah, I think. I don't know if there's someone who specializes in just sexually transmitted diseases. It would be somebody who would like be a gynecologist.
Right.
Might know a fair bit about it. What do you call someone who's a gynecologist? That's all
Urologist.
about lady urine and stuff. Yeah, pee and all that sort of stuff. Yeah. I had to go see a urologist. Why did I have to? When I had
The clap.
what was I saying? A urologist? Oh no, I saw a urologist when I had a hernia.
Okay. When
Yeah.
was your hernia?
When I was maybe like 2014 or something like that. So I had that, and then I had to see a urologist when there was some stuff going on, and I got a colonoscopy.
Wow.
As well.
This
That
is
was
a great
that
intro
was
to
that
the
was
Rugby
exciting.
podcast.
So I've had a lot of people fiddle around my bits.
Nice.
Have you had the prostate check?
I don't know if I told you off or on camera that one time in China.
Was it planned?
No.
Oh, okay, I want to hear about yours, but I want to tell you about mine as well. I've had two actually. My father died of prostate cancer.
Right.
So they try and check any time I tell a doctor that, they're like, all right, bend over. And I'm like, oh, damn it.
Okay.
But the first time I had it was during my, I woke up in the middle of the night. So let's talk about this.
We will talk about some rugby later.
We will, but
There'll be
you
timestamps.
shift over a little bit. Maybe I shift in. There's a bit of dead space there.
Okay. Dead Space is a
I
horror
woke
video
up in
game
the
which I
middle of the
never
night
played.
with the.
Don't really do horror video games.
Anyway. So I think men should talk about this stuff more often. So this is like a men's health episode of 2 Cents Gets Distracted.
Is this because you didn't watch that much rugby?
I watched heaps of rugby and I can't wait to talk about it. Okay. But no. So I was married to my ex-wife at the time, and I remember going to bed, and I said to her,
Stick your finger up my butt.
I
I
mean-
need a check.
no, I feel like I feel my nuts are a bit sore. And she was like, oh, that's weird.
Okay.
And then I was like, yeah, that's weird. You know how you say things like that to your loved
Your
ones?
ex-wives?
Yeah. And then I woke up at like 3 a.m. and it just felt like, like a fucking herd of elephants was just like standing on my nuts. I was like, oh,
Wow.
God, this is not good.
That's unfortunate.
Yeah, this is not good at all. So then I went into the hospital, and then they thought that I had a twisted scrotum.
Yeah, that
Or
can
something
be,
like that.
I remember worrying about that as a teenager because they talked about that in like sex health class or
Yeah.
something. That like
You
if
really
don't-
went to
if-
town on yourself.
If you don't get it seen within like 24 hours, or something, you lose your testicle.
But
Basically,
then
but it's
some
supposed to be
student,
excruciating
some
pain.
some student doctor had come to that conclusion,
Okay.
and then it was like, "Yep, I think we need to sort this out for this bloke." And then he told a doctor who was more senior than him, and she was like, "Yep, that sounds right." And then she was just like, "Okay, let's just give him an X-ray or something first." And then I didn't actually have a twisted scrotum. I had
Can
a.
they X-ray your balls?
I don't
Maybe
know.
a
Well, she did
ultrasound?
some. I can't remember this. Well over a decade ago.
MRI? I don't know.
And then she.
I don't think there's much bone in that bone.
Anyway, they gave me a thing just to evaluate something
It
else.
may well be an X-ray. I have
And
no medical
I
knowledge
don't
at
know
all.
either. But anyway, they did some sort of procedure to work out what I actually had, and it wasn't.
Scanned your nuts.
It turned out that I had an inguinal hernia. So that's when part of your intestine is poking out through into your ball sack area. So that's pretty unpleasant. I gotta be honest. So it feels like someone sort of just kicked you in the nuts, and then they say we'll sort that
How
out.
does it even get in there?
Yeah,
It's
I don't
not
know, pushing out a hard shit or something. Anyway, it's more common than you think.
Is it?
And then, so then it sort of feels like a dull ache that someone sort of just kicked you in the nuts about 10 minutes ago all the time. Not pleasant, so they had to sort that out. But I remember I went to see urologists and all sorts of people just to make sure nothing else was going on as well. And I don't know if you've ever.
But you had a bad habit of not talking into the microphone last week.
Oh, sorry. Talking in to this microphone. Have you ever had anything going on with your stomach or your bits or something like that? And then by the way, so I've had things where I've had to show doctors my cock and ball so often. Like I'm pretty used to it. So anyway, so I was seeing multiple specialists and stuff like that, and I was constantly just dropping my dacks. Like they're like, yeah, show me, and I was like, yeah, whatever. Feast your eyes on that one. Hide your erection. But I went into this one place, and he was like, okay, drop your dacks. And I was like, yeah, no worries. And then he was like, okay, lie against the wall, look at the wall. And I was like, oh, this is different. He's taking a
Different approach.
taking a different view. Then I just hear, I'm like, whoa, what's going on in there? And then he's like, just breathe in. I'm like, okay. And then straight up, oh my fucking God. And then you're just like, holy, and I had no idea it was coming.
Wow.
There was no warning. He thought, and I was just like, what on earth? He's fucking so deep in there. He's touching a fucking lung. And then it was horrible. It was horrible just in the fact that I didn't know it was coming. I couldn't prepare for it. And then I thought the second time I had it, I was like, oh, this will be much better. I'm used to it. It wasn't. But by the way, no, it's not that bad. If you need to go get your prostate checked, work out whether you've got, that stuff. It's not that bad. You know what the weirdest feeling is, though? Of the whole prostate check? Can I be honest with you? When they're pulling the finger out of your asshole.
Feels like you're taking a dump.
It definitely feels like you're taking a shit. You're like, oh my God, I'm shitting on you, doc. It's pretty gross. It's weird. It's a weird feeling. But do it. Get your prostate checks, guys. People die. My father died. So do it. That's my advice to you. But it's not. But it's not fun. It's not something you do for a good time. Or maybe you do. But anyway, that's my little story. And then the person left, and then the doctor came in and said, "Hey, how you doing? Hey, oh, bang." Yes.
See what you did there.
But anyway, what's new in your world, my man?
I've been filling out insurance claims.
Oh, how's it been going? The saga.
Well, my pipes are fixed. Not my bits and pieces, the actual
yeah.
pipes in my house.
So your pipes are fixed, and that cost you
thousands of dollars poorer.
Yes.
And I've lodged an insurance claim. I've given them the stats, and I've given them the key events.
Fantastic. All right.
So their initial email seems maybe promising.
Really?
Maybe. She didn't say no. She was like, I need more information.
Okay.
So
you've sent more information?
I need to get it from the plumber.
All right. Okay. Cool. So if it's an instantaneous leak and not slow and gradual, then that's a good sign.
That's basically what she said in the email. If it's gradual damage, we're not going to cover it. But I was like, well, it's not.
Yeah. It's pretty, because I had it checked.
Well, I had a meter reading right before those guys started digging at my house.
Oh,
and
right.
right after they started digging.
Will they chase AT for it then?
I think so.
Right.
Because I'll have to pay my excess as well. So they might even get my excess back from me.
Oh.
I may get nothing. We'll see.
Who knows? But then you're going to have to refund Rian Low and...
there were two donations from the pipes.
Thank you to those.
Champs. Both
Legends.
in South African Rand.
Right. So what I saw was 35 each, was it, on both of them?
Something like that.
How much is that?
I don't know.
I'm sure it's appreciated. That's what it is.
100%.
Well done.
Rihan's a champion. I think he's like an engineer. He could probably fix my pipes.
You reckon?
Let me have a look at those pipes.
Are you saying you want Rian to give you a
That's
prostate
not
check?
what I said. I said...
Well, you went...
Bro, read into that what you will.
Yeah, but that's like, he can fix my pipes by not only fingering you, fisting you is what you were sort of implying there.
Gracious, man.
I know. Golly gosh. Nothing else, though, of note happening.
I got the kids on school holiday. So
yeah, I got the kids. We both look at each other like,
that's
condolences.
Condolences. Yeah, it's one of those things.
Right.
Took them out today and took them to the park and played a bit of a hit around with the cricket set. And
nice.
Swung on the swings. My son
What else
suddenly,
is to go?
my son's trying to take like not the little kid behaviors now because he's 9. He'll be
Right.
10 this year. He's starting to do stuff like, I'll clean that up. I'll do this, I'll do that. Like he's trying to like contribute instead of just being a.
Wow.
And he's like,
I ne-
I'll push you on the swing, Dad. That was fucking weird.
Whee!
Like those big,
That's nice.
those big swings, not like the
Yeah,
ones where you
yeah,
sit
yeah.
down. Those big kind of like upside down
the-
bowl ones.
The basket
No,
swings.
regular, yeah,
Baskets.
basket swings. There you go. You have stuff to deal with,
Yeah.
children.
I have stuff to deal with children. You make it sound like I hang outside schools with chloroform or something.
Well,
Weird.
you hang around outside school sometimes.
Yeah, yes. Yeah, right.
So yeah, he was just pushing me like a madman.
Oh.
That was weird. It felt weird.
That's very typical oldest child
Yeah,
behavior.
yeah,
like
yeah,
I
yeah.
never did that. I was never like, leave that to me, mother.
Yeah.
I'll
yeah.
dry tonight.
Exactly.
No,
So
that
it was
was
bizarre. I've like not been pushed on a swing for many a year.
by your child son.
And he was like giving it a good go.
He was really giving
It
you.
was quite good.
He's feeling quite powerful. Sounds like he's a conscientious young man. He's a good young fellow.
Hopefully he'll
Has he
be-
played rugby this year?
Nah, doesn't like tackle.
All right, fair enough. What's he going to play? Oh, you don't know.
He didn't play anything last year.
But a football, maybe?
Did a bit of swimming. He said he might be interested in playing like hockey,
Oh, yeah.
like field hockey. I played a year of hockey when I was a kid.
You've got to be a
It's
bit of a
alright.
madman to be play
It's
hockey.
fucking. I don't think he gets it. Like he's
painful.
trying to trade down tackle for something less brutal, but you
Your
get the shit whacked out of your hands.
get fucked up.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're talking field hockey. For anyone who's really... There's not a huge amount of ice
There's
hockey.
no real money in that though. So
Or you...
he's not gonna like.
I've seen him run around. I was trying to get him into golf. I thought that was his best chance.
Yeah, probably not.
Yeah, he can run around. But what I'm trying to say is I don't think he's going to be a peak performance athlete.
No.
I could be wrong. Garrett,
No, I don't think so.
you don't think so?
Even when he was in first year rugby as like a 5-year-old, there are some kids who just run like fucking All Blacks, even at 5. There's like 80% of the kids are normal, and then there's like a few kids who are just like, holy hell,
And most of those kids
don't make it.
don't go anywhere.
That's right.
Yeah. Well, they
There was one kid who he went through the grades with because he played for like 4 years, and that kid was great at ripper, but did not like tackle either. He's still really fast, but he hates any contact. He came off crying more than anybody else.
All right.
He just did not like any contact. As soon as he got tackled, he basically cried.
Oh, that's
But at ripper, he was fucking a beast. He would get like 10 tries a game.
right.
Basically, give him the ball, he scored a try.
Maybe he'll just get a little bit older and
Nah, I don't know,
get back
but,
into it. Who
I mean,
knows?
they're kids.
Yeah,
As
indeed.
long as they're having fun.
As long as they're having fun, that is the main thing. All right, so we've talked about hernias,
your
colonoscopies,
bits and pieces,
prostate
my
checks,
pipes.
your pipes.
Honestly, that email that I sent to the claim form that I sent was so fucking thorough.
Really?
It was like a timeline of events, breakdown of events.
And then
it was fucking
then
pictures.
did you get old ChatGPT to help you out at all?
No, I did it all,
It was
all by myself.
It was all Mark Morgan.
Exactly.
Mark Morgan AI. Yeah, just I.
So if I got my claim denied, I've only got myself to blame.
Yeah. All right, fair enough. Well, not really. You should hopefully get something back for it. Fingers crossed. We'll keep you updated
It's
week
what
on
you
week.
want to hear.
So what episode, by the way, this is episode 94 of the podcast.
Okay.
I think.
What are we going to do for... last time you texted me was in the 90s.
93.
And not close to 100.
Yeah, we've got a wee while. What's it going to be in 6 episodes? We might not do 6 episodes straight, but we'll be near enough. There'll be lines to it by then?
We're getting close.
Right. Should we go to a pub in Oz and record over there? Have a fan meet up with like 1.5 people. That's about the... Yeah, that'd be sad, wouldn't it? We have a fan meet up and... Anyone here?
Hello,
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
doctor.
I'd be like, oh, great to see you. And they'll probably give us their drinks order or something.
Yeah, yeah,
and, that'd be great. All right, rugby. Rugby.
Did you watch any?
I watched a little bit.
There was some Super Rugby and there was some Champions Cup.
I enjoyed, I didn't enjoy it, but it was a good game. I enjoyed it. Crusaders versus the Hurricanes on Friday night.
Did you know that the Crusaders are now the top side in Super
It
Rugby?
makes me feel a little bit sick.
Last year was just so good. 'cause
Yeah, we won.
We were in the top and then they were in the bottom.
And they just couldn't get a win.
It was great.
They just could not get a
It
win.
felt like the world had changed.
It felt like things were finally right.
Things was finally starting to change for the better.
Yeah. And it's not because, like, we've got anything against Christchurch, really. Well, not really. And it's just, it sucks watching the same team win and
Over
win
and over and over again.
So I'm going to be really disappointed if they win the comp. They've still got a few years of, like, I felt like they needed, like,
They need a good decade stand down, man.
yeah,
Come
a
on.
good decade down there. But they'll still, in 10 years, no one's going to have more titles than them still. Even if
Exactly.
they don't win a single one more.
That's right.
Like, what's the most an Australian team's got? The
Brumbies
Brumbies
have
got
a
one,
couple.
one or two. Tars
The Reds have got one. The Tars have got one. That's it.
Force have got shit.
Force has never even made the playoffs. We've got 3.
Yeah, which is...
The Chiefs have got 2, and the other 2 New Zealand teams have got 1. The Hurricanes and the Highlanders.
And that's really about it, really.
That's it.
How many South Africans team won it? The Stormers won it one year, didn't
No,
they?
just the Bulls.
Just the Bulls.
Yeah.
Oh. I guess they didn't like touch rugby that much, did they?
Eh?
They didn't like touch rugby. It's just the South African side of the
Oh.
competition. I feel like they, you know how we used to, Super Rugby. The Europeans used to say to us, "Oh, it's just a bit of touch rugby."
Right.
I'm feeling the loudest part of that community saying that now is the South Africans who have left.
Every
you say?
YouTube comment section on the highlights packages gets a lot of haters. I don't really understand it.
Why? Yeah, on highlights packages.
Yeah.
Do they think they're watching a live game potentially? Like, oh, so many tries.
Why do you go watch it though? Just it's hate watching. I don't know.
I don't know. Maybe it's like a jilted old lover or something like that.
Yeah, I don't think I really do that.
Okay, anyway, let's talk. I don't
Focus.
feel like we found our flow today.
No,
Yeah. Is it my energy or your energy?
it's probably a bit of both.
Was it I talked about my prostate too quickly?
I'm just picturing it constantly. Picturing your intestines protruding into your sack.
My poor inguinal hernia, that's what that
Yeah.
is. Has anyone had an inguinal hernia?
Let
All
us-
right,
let us
okay.
know in the comments
We
on a
need to
scale of
talk
1 to
about
10.
some fucking rugby.
The
dude.
Crusaders won 31-24.
And it was all the way down to the end, basically, wasn't
They had
it?
a fucking big lead. They were up 31 like 10.
Yeah.
And it was like, oh, it's a bit sad, Hurricanes fans.
But the Hurricanes came back into it.
Came back into it and they got within a losing bonus point.
Yeah, and there was a moment there where you thought they had all the momentum and like, hey, they could do this.
They might just get it done, but then they didn't.
No, they didn't get it done. This is some super high level analysis. It really is.
Will
I can't-
Jordan and Ruben Love had a wee
Oh,
moment.
that's right. They had a little dusty, didn't they? They got into, had a couple of, they invited each other around to each other's house for
Yeah,
barbecues.
That's right.
That was after Will Jordan's try, wasn't it?
Was it a try? I think he was chasing through a kick which went dead.
Oh, right.
Will Jordan was just trying to make sure it went dead, and Love was trying to get to it.
I watched that whole game.
And
Can I be honest with
He kind
you?
of banged into him, and he was like, "Come around for a barbecue." And Will Jordan was like, "For fuck's sake, man,
Yeah.
summer's over."
Exactly. And it's my turn to host you, bitch.
Yeah, you gotta wait till next summer.
Is it bad that I feel like when you watch so much domestic rugby that, like, it was on Friday night, right?
It feels like ancient history.
It feels like ages ago. And I remember thinking to myself at the end of that game, well, that was quite a clash. I remember having that post-game feeling. But ask me now, what the
happened?
fuck really happened in that game? And I can just tell you that the Crusaders had a good start. The Wellingtonians came back into it and looked like they could potentially win it.
I remember Karifi made a heap of tackles.
Yeah. Roygard didn't make as much. I'm a little bit worried about Roygard's form. at the
Hotham won
moment.
the battle of the halfbacks, I think.
Yeah. I'm a little bit worried about the All Blacks' form across. I thought this was actually that was actually the best game that Dog Rolls played in a while.
Yes, he set
he
up
was
a couple of tries. He was good
Big at
around
the
the
break.
park, nice hands.
Big at the breakdown.
Yes. Dogrel Scott Barrett, for anyone who's unaware.
Yeah, he played pretty damn well, I thought. Because he's been under pressure to put in some sort of performance. Because one of my big fears at the moment is the All Black players aren't actually...
Standing up that well, eh?
No, not at all. Even like players like De Groot, not looking that
Dominant,
flash.
yeah.
Well, they're
I've
not...
even think like something about like Mark Talia. Like Mark Talia's not
Mark
been...
Talia's not looking great. Caleb Clark isn't having a stellar year. We've got, Bodie's been, just come back. I think Bodie has been looking pretty good, but he's got question marks in different parts of his
D-Mac was a
game.
bit shit against the Waratahs.
D-Mac wasn't even playing 10 today in that game,
He
was he?
switched halfway through, yeah.
Our midfield hasn't been looking particularly great. The only midfielder that we know has been regular is Rico, and Rico has looked not particularly flash. Halfback, Roygard is probably the number one, but he hasn't been looking particularly great. Artie Sevilla has been looking fantastic.
That's true. My dad's worried that he's going to burn himself out trying to lift.
I said that last week.
Did you really? Maybe my dad watched the podcast and stole that from you.
No, well, that's what I said to you last week.
Yes.
You always forget what I say. To be fair, we forgot a game on Friday night.
That's true. He's also worried about the same with Geordie Barrett. Not so much for carrying the team, but just
he had a great game in the weekend, didn't he?
He was probably the best of the 3 Barretts of the weekend, and they all played pretty well.
I saw a bit of that.
Did you?
I did.
But the Crusaders won.
The Crusaders won. On to the next.
The Waratahs won. A lot of the feedback on that game was that the refereeing was a bit shithouse.
I didn't notice.
Yeah, it was a bit patchy. Like, he would really go hard on stuff for a while and then just let weird stuff go. And then he let the Waratahs get away with, not get away with, but he pinged them 8 times in a row and didn't even warn them for yellow cards. It was really all over the shop.
Whereabouts in the field were these pingings?
I think a multitude of ones in their own half, but I don't know. Maybe not quite in the red zone, but yeah. Suoli looked good though. He's quick and he's powerful.
And he's got great feet as well. He's got great hands, great skills. That try where they got the ball on their own try line, spun it out wide.
The Wilson one was unbelievable.
Yeah, that's fabulous. And then, Swiley takes some pace on the outside.
There was a tip pass
tracks
over the
tracks 2 men, and that tip pass was a thing of beauty. And then
I think it was Lawson Crichton.
Yeah, that was spectacular. They had a couple of nice tries in that game.
Yeah.
And
they won denied as well. The Faketi one in the corner.
Yeah,
beautiful as well.
And you think that, this is a team that lost to Moana Pacifica last week, and
pretty handily as well. They got hammered the week before by the Canes over in the Cape Town.
So they didn't have a particularly successful trip to New Zealand.
No, they're terrible.
Because they were looking pretty good before that, weren't they? Mm-hmm. Yeah. So
they've been in the playoff spots for a while. And then they came here, and it was like, okay, it's this old Super Rugby where you're all right over there, but when you come here, you're shithouse.
Yeah, well, there seems to be a bit of that, teams going across. The Highlanders had a winless tour of Australia as well, didn't they? So there seems to be, going to another country.
But it never used to be. It used to be a one-way street. We could quite happily go to Australia and get wins, but then they couldn't.
Not in this tournament. Not in this tournament, and not with. It's starting to be a bit of a concern about the form of our All Black players. How often we're getting beaten by Australian teams. We keep saying we want Australia to be a lot more of a competitive side.
But we don't really want.
But I don't like it. But I also don't know whether that's them getting better or it's us getting worse.
We'll give them the credit.
And then a terrible result would be they get pounded by the Lions and we lose to
the French.
We lose
French B team.
No, I was thinking we lose the bloody
the Bledisloe.
The Bledisloe. I think we'll get the French with the type of squad they send out.
Okay.
I think you have to. Wow. Hopefully Razor has some
master plan.
Yeah, it's all part of. Maybe Razor said to everybody at the end of the year tour last year, was like, "You're all playing well enough. Just take it easy over the summer. Don't burn yourselves out." I'm looking at you, Artie. Super Rugby, you've all got your places. Just
go cruising.
We're gonna be ready to launch.
Just give us a good 6 out of 10 between now and then.
Yeah. Don't give us any reason not to select you. Well, I don't know. Surely that can't be it.
No. They're all ultra competitive individuals.
Ultra competitive. But yeah, I don't. When you look at that, the Form 15 for the All Blacks right now would be a different team than the team you probably actually put out if you had to put it. And the team on paper they look, in terms of past form, pretty good, but in terms of current form, not exactly setting the world alight, are they?
Yeah, I suppose that's true. The good thing is there's a few guys who are kind of outside the All Blacks who have not been capped for the All Blacks who look like they could be potential All Blacks. Like Tavatava Nawai looks like, well, that guy might be an All Black.
Yeah, that's true.
So,
is it with the Chiefs the other night? Did the Waratahs really put themselves to another level, or did
Waratahs defended like demons for a while,
Yeah.
and the Chiefs just kept fucking knocking the ball on.
Yeah.
D-Mac alone, I think, had 7.
Just a bad night in the office.
But I mean, sometimes just defensive pressure will do that to you.
Yeah. Was it a game after that? Reds versus.
That was the 2 Friday games. Then we got to Saturday, which was Blues Moana Pacifica.
The
Battle of the 09.
The opener for the Super
Rugby
Rugby
final.
Aupiki final. Yeah, it was a lot going into it. I was slightly torn because I really have been supporting Moana this year. But then as soon as it started, I was like, don't let them win.
That's right. They came into it with wins over the Crusaders and the Waratahs. Mm-hmm. We'd been looking a bit patchy, but we'd just got a win over the Canes.
I could have seen us losing that game.
Yeah, there's a lot of people calling that we were going to lose that game.
Yeah.
But then the Blues just went, fuck it, we're going to maul it. We're going to keep it tight. We'll win some scrum penalties.
Yeah, and
we're not really going to give the wingers that much to do.
Yeah.
We're just going to play up the jumper.
Well, it was kind of the style that they played last year.
I think even more conservative, slightly.
Yeah. I thought Bodie still looked really good. His skill, his touches are really, really nice. His kicking and play has got a lot better since the injury. And you kind of, I don't know about you, but I kind of sitting there waiting over the last 2 to 3 years, just waiting for his drop off.
Still hasn't really happened.
And not quite.
He's still pretty quick.
He's still got good
Some
toe.
guys really visibly slow down or lose their power.
There was he did a great try. The one that shouldn't have been a
The
try.
Artie Savia by Papali'i.
Artie Savia's knee touched the ground. Shouldn't have been a try, but referee made a mistake. But that chip over the top, that was lovely. Yeah. And the one thing I couldn't flippin' understand. Look, I'm going to say flippin' because
you're real mad about this.
Real peeved. Why on God's green earth was Jackson Needs a Garden Salad playing instead of Pellegrini?
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, that was
a
so weird.
Call.
Like,
Pellegrini's been in the form of his life.
He's been playing the house down. He's been so crucial in their wins, and Needs a Garden Salad has not actually done.
Yeah, my dad mentioned something about that. He said Tana had mentioned something in the press conference about it. About wanting to keep guys fresh or something, but it seems like, come on, man.
Come on, dude. You need your wins, man.
Yeah.
You need to. The guy's playing amazingly well. Like
the Blues are not vulnerable, but they're looking much more beatable than they did at the start of the year.
100%.
So
you've just beaten the Crusaders. You've beaten the Tars.
So now's the time to keep the form up and just keep, putting the best team out there.
Yeah, but, that was an odd selection.
It did not pay off.
And Garden, he just. I swear he's getting fatter. Is it not just me?
You'd think by 9 rounds of the season you'd have lost any of the preseason.
To be fair, Pellegrini got they have some chunky number 10s. Pellegrini's not exactly shaped beautifully, but these jerseys don't leave much to the imagination.
No.
I'm sure we wouldn't look particularly great in them either, but we don't have to wear them and play in front of.
The match jerseys are. They don't leave a lot to the imagination.
Well, because they kind of expect the people to be
in good shape.
Yeah.
I remember when they first. That's because we're old. When they first started doing the tight jerseys, well over a decade ago.
Yeah.
They used to have loose jerseys.
Options is loose.
No, just teams just used to wear loose jerseys. Tight
before
jerseys.
that.
Do you remember when they first introduced the tight jersey tech?
Yeah.
Was it us and Adidas? I think that introduced the really tight jerseys, and then. When all the teams first started using them, they kept ripping because they didn't have the technology right, and the props fucking hated them because they looked like fat pricks in them, compared to the old ones which could hide a bit of your shame. But we've had tight jerseys for such a long time now, but we never used to.
No, that's right. And you look at the other ones were just big bloody jumpers.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah.
There was worries about the tight ones because the props wouldn't be able to get a good grip on them.
Yeah.
At scrum time, and then they just kept ripping. The early technology was not good. It ripped like mad. You would see ripped jerseys every game. But it's gotten a lot better. But it's still not very flattering.
No.
I think I only have 1 or 2 match jerseys.
You don't wear it often?
And if I can avoid wearing them. Like my Northampton jersey is a match jersey, so I constantly hope they lose. So I don't have to wear that jersey. Look at it. Give it, sister.
Folks.
Yeah.
No. Yeah, the Pellegrini selection was a weird one. And
Yeah, that's true.
Guys in form, you're on a roll. Keep them going.
Yeah, exactly.
Anyway.
That's what we reckon.
Yeah, that's what we think. That's his 2 cents and my distracteds.
Take that, Tana.
Yeah.
What do you know?
Maybe there's more to it.
Probably.
Who knows? Where is Julian Sarvia? Someone tell me.
You saw him playing golf.
I know, and I haven't seen him since. And playing golf or otherwise. Do you know?
No. Guess he's still not fit.
You reckon?
Don't know. He came in with an injury, right?
He said to me he wasn't injured.
Okay. Maybe he just likes golf.
He's
Maybe one Sarvia is enough.
He wasn't good enough to be a professional golfer.
Okay.
We're going to have some golf chat for you Masters fans out there. He's so fucking excited.
Pumped. Absolutely pumped.
Bump.
But yeah, it was a good win for us. Bonus point, 36-17. We needed the bonus point. Big time.
2 in a row, mother truckers.
Yes.
Boom.
Coming into form.
We're amazing. We're doing it. Fantastic. Crusaders next. Oh, fuck.
Down there.
Come on, stick it up their asses. What night is it?
It is the first game of this week, so Friday.
You want to come round?
Friday should be all right.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I don't think my parents are coming that day.
Okay.
Boomfa.
We'll watch the live stream with me and Mark.
Be miserable.
Yeah.
More miserable than normal.
It really stings when they lose to the Crusaders.
The one side I just really don't like losing to is the Crusaders.
Oh, I hate it. I really hate losing to them.
In some ways, it angers me more than when we the All Blacks lose.
When the All Blacks lose to England, I feel really bitter
Right.
for some reason. Actually, when the All Blacks lose at all, I feel very bitter. But I feel very, very irritated when we lose to England.
Right.
You know, it's just something about there's just a little bit of a feeling online like the English are just like, oh, of course, well,
Hilarious.
the small folk in the end, then the Antipodes.
Yeah, we never use the word Antipodes.
They do.
Yeah, a lot. And South Sea Islanders.
Yeah.
We never call people South Sea Islanders.
What do we call them?
Pacific Islanders?
No.
Oh, what do we call them?
Yeah.
Poms?
Poms, yeah.
We've had this discussion before.
Fuckwits. No, we don't.
Brits?
Brits, yeah.
I remember I used the word Yanks once around an American guy who was from Texas, and he did not appreciate it.
Oh, well.
Because he didn't consider himself a Yank.
Because they fought the Yankees.
Thanks. That's the thing.
Civil War.
He kind of preferred to call himself just a Texan.
Rather than an American. I'm a Texan first.
Well, also because he learned Spanish, and he said, you're always offending people when you say you're American in Spanish because they consider all the parts of the Americas to be Americans, right?
Oh,
if you're Argentinian, you're American.
Yeah, sure.
So they don't like people saying, I'm American in Spanish. So he would always say,
proud,
I'm Texan.
I'm proud to be an American because at least I know I'm free.
That guy, speaking of, as my son would put it, a fatty boy chungus. Like that guy, I'm still friends with him on Facebook. I met this guy in China over a decade ago. He's put on a shitload of weight.
Yeah, that happens.
He's ballooned.
We're at that age.
He looks happy as fuck. So
yeah, that's good.
Good on him.
Good on, well
and
done.
he always had a good appetite. And he played tennis. I think I might have talked about it. He played tennis.
Quite
really competitively at university, but he was quite a fat guy then as well. So he would just big serve and run to the net.
We're at that age now when we run into people from school. It can go one or two ways and be like,
he's in good shape.
Yeah, he's done right. Or it'd be like, whoa!
He's lost all his hair.
Yeah, he looks fucking... Life's really done one on him. Yeah. Old. It's good being old.
I met one of my... It was over a year ago now, but I caught up with one of my old high school mates. He'd since had fucking 4 kids and shit. And the first 5 minutes of us chatting, and we were talking about I had knee surgery. And he's like, oh yeah, I had my back and blah, blah, blah. That's how you know you're old.
I've just come from a prostate check.
Exactly.
All right.
The Highlanders beat the Drua.
The Drua came back in that one, didn't they?
They looked like they were going to pinch it.
Yeah, there was a...
They were on fire.
But then they actually ended up in scoreline.
Oh, yeah, the Highlanders were just kicking them the ball, and the Drua were we'll run it back at you.
Yeah, I think these are two of the teams that probably shouldn't be in the top six at the end
Right.
of
Well,
the
currently
year.
neither of them is in the top 6.
Yeah,
And that's a good thing.
Yeah. Well, it's a good thing for us because we need some bloody wins.
Mm.
Are we playing? Who we got to? That loss against the Canes. That was a bad loss that we took, wasn't it?
We beat the Canes 2 times.
No, not the Canes. The Highlanders.
Yes, down there we lost to
Yeah,
them.
we lost to them in round 2. Yeah, I like some really lovely tries from the Drua.
Logan and Mussy is magic.
Yeah, so much great talent and stuff like that, but then so much soft defense at times. You know, there was that one that.
Are you the guy leaving comments on the Super Rugby highlights?
Yeah,
It's you.
yeah, that's me. There was one try where was it the number? What's the number 13 from Highlanders? Mullet guy.
Oh, yeah.
Anyway, scored one, and he fends off a guy, and the guy's kind of still got him. He scragged him, and then there are another 3 defenders come in and are there to hold the ball up, but somehow he still gets it down, and there's just no excuse for that. Like, oh, sure, he's a big, powerful man and a big foul, but you're professional rugby athletes. You should be able to hold and prevent him from getting to the line. He didn't have much, you know, in the way of pace or momentum. Like, he was determined to run, but.
Should have been stopped.
Someone should have got a limb under it somehow. That was, and there seems to be a lot of that. Like there's a lot of just soft moments that really let them down. Yeah, and then they had the game by the scruff of the neck. Was it a yellow that happened? That there was a yellow that happened late in the game that didn't do them any favors.
And then like the reserve hooker for the Highlanders scored, and that just kind of killed the momentum.
See, I watched rugby.
You did.
Yeah. It's hard because before we do this, sometimes we look at each other and go, "Do you know what happened?" And you cover it and you have to talk about it afterwards. So you know a lot, and then you like, "Did you watch it?" And I'm like, "I did, but I can't."
Sometimes I can't remember. It kind of blurs in. After a while, it blurs in.
Come test season, we're on top of it.
I think so.
Yeah. These are the winter months.
Yes.
Well, these are the going north of the wall type of thing.
Like, Game of Thrones reference.
It is a little bit. I don't know how that
I've
analogy
been to the Great
works.
Wall.
Of China.
Yes.
I haven't.
Well, they say once you climb to the top of the Great Wall, you're a real man. So
I'm not quite there yet.
Not yet. And you better get it done because a lot of steps. It'll be bad for your knees.
I went for a 19k run on the weekend. Am I a real man?
Did you go up the Great Wall on the run?
I had to go to a big ass fucking hill over there.
That's true. But did you go up the Great Wall?
No, it's not in my area of West Auckland.
Damn. It's a pretty big wall.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How far of it? How far does it actually go?
Fucking miles.
Oh, come on. I know it goes for a long way.
I don't have the stats on that one.
Give me the stats.
It's pretty fucking big.
I'd like to know. I was really expecting
a lot of it's like the touristy sections are all.
We're talking over like 1,500 miles.
I don't know.
What areas does it go through?
Most of northern China, because it was to kind of stop them from getting invaded by
the
Mongols.
It must be over 4,000
All
k.
the steppe. It's not even like one complete long continuous wall. It's like patchwork.
I think so. The length of Australia is like 4,200 k or something like
You're
that.
not going to get me to commit to a number because I just don't know.
God, this is so disappointing.
I know.
Hold
but
on.
it's pretty long.
I'll look this up, man.
Okay.
The length of the Great Wall of China. I was going to say some shit about, an area that you can go on. Okay. Should I say the original length?
No.
The length of your cock. The
Great Wall of China.
Great Wall of China. Wow. 21,196 kilometers.
It's pretty long.
What is that in miles?
Don't know.
Is that like 17,000 miles?
Yeah, it's pretty long.
No, it's 13,170 miles.
It's quite far.
Fargendagen. That is fucking massive. Like,
China had issues with
China
the peoples.
Is so big.
Peoples of the steppe invading them.
Really?
Yes.
So I'm pretty sure the width of Australia is like
Mongols.
Australia is massive, but I'm pretty sure if you go from like Perth to Sydney, it's just 4,500 kilometers.
The Jurchens, the Khitan. There's a lot of people who invaded them on horseback.
Poor bar, and then that's what they put up.
Put up a big fucking wall.
Wow. So the wildlings want to get them.
Exactly.
The old wildlings. Holy smokes, that's incredible. I hope you've learned something today.
I would recommend it. If you go to China, it's worth going to the Great Wall. It's pretty great.
I've told you about my only experience in China, haven't I?
Doesn't involve taking a shit.
Hey, look, I may have taken a shit in there, but I didn't realize it was a feature of the story. No, it's only been I've spent like multiple
Layovers.
10 to 16 hour layovers in Guangzhou, and
southern China.
And one time I was going to Europe.
There's no Great Wall there.
I was going to the UK once, and I was like, I don't have enough clothes, and I was like, I'll just buy some.
Oh, and they said you were too fat.
Yeah, that's right. I was just like, I'll just buy some clothes in China on the way through, and then I was just looking through anywhere, and they look like children's clothes, and then I was like, have you got anything bigger? And she was just like, nah, you're too fat. Pretty blunt.
Yeah, the Chinese people are quite blunt. They'll often give you we say that oh, you've lost weight. They would be like, you've put on a few.
Yeah.
You've put on a few gigs. You're getting a bit fat.
You look fat, don't you?
Yeah, they genuinely do that. So.
And you're like, oh, yeah, I
thanks
guess so.
for that.
I
Must be
guess
the Northampton jersey I'm wearing.
Yeah.
The Reds got toppled by the Brumbies in the top of the table Aussie conference battle.
That was in Queensland, wasn't it?
Yeah, the Reds were like 14-0 up.
Yeah. And that was in pretty quick succession, getting those early tries as well. And you thought, okay, this is going to might be a bit in it, but the class will win out.
I got a $10 offer from Betcha, the TAB's second website. They were like, put on a $10 bet this weekend and we'll match you in bonus bets. So I was like, I'll put $10 on the Reds. They should win that one. 14-0 up. And I was like, I should have put more. And then they lost.
Thanks, Reds.
Lost my fucking $10.
Yeah. Okay, this is a game that I watched.
That's why you don't gamble.
I watched this game. You know that? I actually sat there.
You didn't watch two
did.
Aussie teams play.
I did.
Did you pick your fantasy team?
No, I haven't done it since round 2. I think I'm coming 46,000th in the comp. Was it on Friday night?
Saturday.
No, I didn't. I didn't watch it. I went out on the piss with a couple of mates.
There you go.
Had a great night. Ended up at the casino. Won at the casino. Never go, but
so here I was losing $10.
I walked away with maybe $200.
Holy shit! What game did you play?
I got out. I usually just get out money. I go probably once a year, I'd say, when I'm just out with some buddies and stuff. Yep. I think I got out $150, but I only used $60.
Yeah.
And that $60 turned into.
But what games did you play?
Oh, so I played blackjack and roulette.
Oh fuck, roulette!
Roulette. Because I won $100 in my blackjack. And then I just took my...
What denomination were you on the $5 table or the $10?
$15 table.
Wow.
And then the roulette, we don't know what the fuck we're doing. My mate won roulette when he just put a $5 and it hit the number and he turned it into $175.
Holy moly.
That was great. So we were having a great time. And I just basically put most of my winnings down on black and I got it all back as well. So
nice.
Walked away with a bit of cash.
There you
Came
go.
up a couple $100 and kept the other... Yeah, I only took $60 out of my pocket and made a couple $100 out of it. Something like that. But then blew it all on shit. It was a real old school night. Went to some restaurant Ponsonby with a mate of mine back from the UK.
Sounds about right.
And then, what do you mean?
This guy, sure boy.
And then went to the casino and then ended up in Denny's.
Wow.
We had 2 meals.
Was it one of your birthdays? Because you can eat free if it's your birthday.
No,
at Denny's.
yeah, it wasn't. We spent our winnings at Denny's.
Wow, that's kind of sad.
Oh, it was good. It's like being 18 again. You know, you kind of end up in Denny's. Yeah.
Literally, I remember going out on the piss and ending up in Denny's.
It's shit.
It's terrible food.
It's the worst food ever. It really is.
When you're on the piss, it seems so appealing.
Yeah, we're old enough to realize it was real bad. I had a double cheeseburger or something, but it was fine. Got through it.
Well, the Reds lost, and you didn't watch it.
We also went to a couple of bars and shit as well.
Okay.
But I watched the highlights of it,
okay.
or I watched the replay. I feel like I watched a substantial part of the game.
The Brumbies were just generally comfortable. Once they came back, they just looked the better side. It's quite concerning for the Reds.
So do you reckon the Reds? So the Reds and the Waratahs have both started the campaigns relatively well. The Brumbies have been bubbling away. The Force have been doing okay.
Force were on the bye.
Yeah, so they struggle to get the win. Where are so who's inside and outside the 6 at the moment?
Currently, the Chiefs have dropped to second. The Crusaders have taken first spot. Those guys are on 28 and 27. So they're they're one win ahead of everyone else.
Mm-hmm.
Then the Brumbies and Reds are both on 23. And the Waratahs and Force are on 21 and 20. That's your top 6. So it's still 4 Aussie sides. But
Wow.
the top 2 sides are Kiwi.
Wow.
And then you got the Highlanders, Hurricanes, Blues. So the 3 Kiwi sides on 17, 16, 16. Then Moana and the Drua are on.
Can I ask
the final
you
2.
a relatively Blues-centric question?
We got the Crusaders next, but the rest of our draw doesn't look too bad.
All right, so if we could get a win this weekend, it's going to really put us in good shape to come home with a wet sail.
Maybe. We still may be able to sneak in even if we lose this weekend.
Okay. Let's go Blues. One of my secret desires.
Ooh.
Secret desires. It's not even that secret. I'm telling it to these fine people on the internet.
The draw.
No, it's
Moana.
that we qualify 6th. Crusaders qualify number 1.
And we knock them out.
We knock them out. That's not the way it works, though. If they qualify 1, we qualify 6, they could be the lucky loser.
They were guaranteed to be going through as lucky loser if they qualify first.
Fucking lucky losers. Damn.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'd like to knock them out somehow.
Good on you for remembering that we're part of the playoff system.
Thanks, man. Appreciate that. It's not often you compliment me. It means a lot to me.
There you go. Crusaders Blues next week. Drua Waratahs. That's in Lautoka. Lautoka is like their fortress. When they play at Suva, they don't win that much.
So is that the Tars here?
Yeah, Tars are in Lautoka.
Yeah, I give it to the Tars. Just think on the back
The
of that.
Chiefs lost in Lautoka.
But I just think on the back of that, when they know they're playing for a little bit more, and the Drua have only got 1 win this whole year.
And it was in Lautoka.
You've mentioned this, but they lost in Lautoka yet?
Not this season.
So they've only played once in Lautoka.
100% record.
Okay. No, I'm going to give it to the Tars.
Both these sides have beaten the Chiefs.
I just don't
Chiefs
think...
have only lost 2 games.
And it's to these 2 teams.
Exactly right.
I just don't think the Drua have...
Glenn Jackson
have
is
it
their
in
coach.
there.
So.
He's an old referee and an old Bay of Plenty player.
Moana Pacifica is hosting the Brumbies.
Oh, go on, Northern Moana. Come on, North Moana.
See how the Brumbies travel.
Yeah.
They beat us, remember? So they've won in Auckland this year so far.
They did, didn't they?
Second trip to Auckland for them.
Nice.
Chiefs are hosting the Highlanders. One would
Chiefs.
think Chiefs to bounce back.
Chiefs will do that one.
And then the Hurricanes will travel to Perth to face the Force. For me, that's the game I think
Yeah.
I am most interested in this weekend.
Because
the Fourth are in 6th. They're coming off the bye. Had a week. The Hurricanes have got to travel about as far as you have to travel in any Super Rugby game.
you're basically going to Asia.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah.
So they got to travel to Perth.
When you go anywhere like west, basically, of New Zealand, you feel like you travel across Australia for so much of your trip.
Yeah.
Like it's all day. You just look down and you just see.
You look at that little. There's that little map. You
Yeah,
can look
yeah,
at
like,
when you're on.
still
Like,
on
you watch a
fucking
movie. You've watched an entire movie, and you're like, "The fuck! I'm still over
Yeah,
Darwin."
exactly. Like fucking Alice Springs, jeez.
Like I was over Brisbane when I started this movie. What the fuck? I'm still over Australia.
Yeah, Australia's massive.
Yeah, it's massive.
So that makes me wonder about. Did I get my measurements wrong? What's the width of Australia? I'm sure it was 4,500 k's. There's 21,000 kilometers. That's so far. All right, width
With Australia.
of Australia. Yeah, it's 4,000 kilometers. 4,000.
400,000.
4,000.
What?
4,000 kilometers.
That can't be right.
It is fucking right. Ned Brockman ran across it in just over 40 days.
400,000 is ridiculous. What am I thinking?
Yeah. The whole planet isn't 400,000 kilometers in width.
Yeah.
I
Did you
don't
see the
think
Great
it-
Wall was how many?
What's that?
How many was the Great Wall?
21,000.
It can't be right. Something's not right.
Well, no. That's why I'm just really struggling to understand. Because Australia's fucking massive. But we get these things on our maps and aren't accurate
that's
at all.
right.
They're really not accurate. Like,
Africa always looks tiny, but it's massive. Europe always looks huge, but it's smaller.
Tiny. Yeah. New Zealand looks bigger than it should be as well, doesn't it?
I think so.
Yeah. We're bigger than England.
This is true. We're just smaller than Japan.
Well, and Japan looks bigger than us, don't they?
Yeah, they are bigger than us.
Well, but they look much bigger.
And they got, like, if you took off Hokkaido, I think we're about
We
the
need a
same
new
size.
map. And show me.
I think it's hard to put a three-dimensional object on a 2D map, a flat map. That's just why that works.
Width. Oh, so I'm going to go width of the. Is it because it's wiggly?
Yeah, it's wiggly.
And
there's more, like I said, there's multiple sections.
Okay, of the Great Wall. What the Great Wall?
It's a
is.
rugby podcast brought to you by the Great Wall.
Oh,
of
now
China.
it's telling me it's 13 to 16 feet or 4 to 5 meters in like width. Like if I walk from this side of the wall to that side of the wall.
It's not that wide. It's just really long.
Yeah, I just.
Did you think it was that? You didn't think it was that?
No, I didn't. No, I realized when you just, I realized it looks like that. But no, it's 21,000.
That's surely exaggerated.
This is googly wooglies.
It's never been wrong before.
Never ever.
Super Rugby. We're more than halfway through the regular season.
Sorry, I'm just looking at the Great Wall of China on a map. So look at it.
Yeah, it's pretty big. It's called Great for a reason.
She's
It's
great.
not called the pretty impressive Wall of China.
The wee Wall of China.
You know what it's called in Chinese? It's called the Long Wall. I guess because it's pretty fucking long.
21,000 kilometers. Holy shit.
But it's not continuous. It's bits and pieces.
But
of
it was continuous originally.
I don't think so.
Anyway.
Did you watch any Champions Cup for our European viewers
I,
listeners? I'm sure you've timestamped this in right here.
Boom.
So they've skipped
Toulouse,
all the
Toulon.
prostate check. They've skipped all the...
Toulouse Toulon, it seemed like a tense affair.
That
with a
one
lot
was
of
a
pash.
proper, like, kind of test matchy feel.
Yeah,
in the
like, get your
rain,
points
take
when you
your
can.
penalties over your rivals. Great atmosphere.
Ramos not getting the kick.
Quarterfinal.
It's one of the strangest yellow cards I've seen for a while.
There was the head.
I don't think it was a. He went in high, but as far as I could see, they didn't even kiss.
The Saran one.
The number 9, and that was a
That's the
crucial
Saran.
moment.
Yeah, 'cause
and then
they
got
conceded right after
they
that.
conceded a try after it, with old Peter Arkey knocking about. Good North Harbour man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He has since played for Tonga.
Right.
I think he was captured by New Zealand. Was he an All Black or was he a Sevens?
I'm
Might
not
have been
too
a one-cap All Black.
Might have been. But it was good to see him out there.
Yes.
But yeah, it looked like a very tense encounter. Ramos missed a couple of crucial ones, but when
And
it
then
really...
they also had a try denied. The halfback Growl, like, lost it over the line.
Yeah. It didn't look quite right, did it, when he was putting it down?
Just kind of bobbled it.
Yeah, but a tense affair, and Ramos comes good when it really counts.
He'd just missed one a few minutes before from a scrum, and then he gets another chance at it and slots it. And he looked kind of relieved.
Cut it in right at the right moment.
Looked just relieved.
Yeah, but look, and it looks like they carried on like they won the whole bloody comp.
They really did. That meant a lot to them.
I think is that probably the French derby, like the highest profile derby, or is La
I don't
Rochelle?
actually know.
It was actually kind of cool to be able to watch a bit of it because we don't actually get much French on French rugby. We don't watch bugger all. And we're talking about super high class players.
For sure.
Yeah. The Jelly Bear was 10 for Toulon versus.
That was Bordeaux.
Was it?
10 for...
Oh, who was it?
It was Garbisi for Toulon.
Who was
Up against
who was
Intermac.
who was taking the kicks for Toulon?
Jaminet.
Jaminet, not Jelly Bear.
That's right.
Damn
Both
it.
start with a J.
They do both start with a J. Damn it. What's his name? I was going to say Carreras. No, the number 3. He got a yellow card. Was that the Toulon player? The
Prop for
the
Toulouse.
prop.
For falling on Priso's leg.
Yeah. It's interesting. All this sort of they're really cracking down
On the falling on the lower limb
croc
stuff.
rope.
Yeah.
You know what's interesting? Like, it's a massive thing in NRL. Is that they call it the hip drop,
Yeah.
and
Somebody got hit, like, was it Jorgensen or something got injured with a hip
hip
drop tackle
massive hip drop tackle, and it's a giant no-no
in the NRL.
in NRL. Like, you can get easy, like, it's far more lenient on high shots, but if you do a hip drop, you get
fighting,
time.
like fighting words kind of thing.
Yeah, well, you get time in the bin very, very quickly. Basically, you've got an attacker coming towards you. They've kind of beaten you. Well, they haven't beaten you, but you've got a hold of them. But you've ended up, your body is now behind them, and instead of like going forward and taking them down with your forward momentum, like your chest, you drop your hips from onto their legs as they're running, and that can cause that can cause like serious injury.
Yep.
Like it's a pretty natural kind of tackle technique.
Yeah. But the consequences can be.
And Jorgensen injured
he's
himself
got to have surgery, I think, so.
on a hip drop,
Yeah.
and there was zero consequences for that. So that game was in. So that player would have been sent to the bin at least during the game, put on a report, and given a multiple match ban in NRL. So they're big on. I guess it's more just confrontational and guys just getting part like. The hip drop's a massive no-no. The other one that's a massive no-no over there is the crunch tackle. It's not what do they call it, a crunch or something like that, or what do they call it? But it's the one where a player goes down and you apply pressure to the back of their neck as they go down, so they kind of you force their chin into their chest. So they're big on that one too.
It's unusual to hear that the league is tougher on stuff than union.
Yeah, I think it's
like some of the high shots that I see when I see league, it's like, holy fuck, it's a red card in rugby, and it's like, that's a good hit.
Yeah. That's very different. But the croc roll, the hip drop and the crunch tackle, I think it's called. I'm not sure if it's called a crunch tackle. Those are the ones they.
But yeah, they are policing the croc rolls. So there was a yellow card for Bai.
But
I don't think there was no intent. That one was just, I think a guy came in behind him and just kind of knocked him partially over. But
I feel sorry for the guys who get pinged for it sometimes, but you've just got to be so careful, cleaning out. Like when you're cleaning out, you've got to just kind of fall straight. You can't. It's so natural. You're on a mound, for God's sake, to go to either side of it. Yeah. Oh well. Because it can really, really injure players, I guess.
That was probably the best game, the most fitting of a quarterfinal. Great atmosphere, 3-point margin, at the death, the kick, only a couple of tries in the rain.
Now,
the other games were all kind of blowouts.
Can we stop getting blowouts in this? So I saw the highlights from the Northampton game.
I only watched the highlights of that one as well. 51-16. It was kind of close at halftime.
What this guy? What's this kid who looks like a freaking helmet?
Henry Pollock. You don't like you're usually the guy who's like, stop being a grumpy old man.
No,
when I'm like, he fucking loves himself.
I think when you're up by that much, and you a milk you put down, and then you put it down, and then you do a basketball shot with the ball afterwards, you're acting like a bit of a twat. That's, I don't mind someone showing a bit of personality, well, maybe I do, apparently.
Yeah.
But, like, he just seemed like, personality is one thing, but if your personality is a twat, I'm going to be like, you're acting like a twat. Like, that's what it seemed to be to me. Like,
I don't mind it too much, but I would, in my heart of hearts, fucking love to see him get blindsided while he's doing it. That would satisfy me to no end.
Yeah.
Because that might make him think twice about it.
He looks like a really good player.
Fuck yeah.
He looks like a really high quality player who's probably got a huge ceiling on him in terms of what he could offer. Not only a club team, but he seems like a very, very good player. Didn't he score 2 tries?
Yeah, 2 tries in that game.
Yeah. And he scored a try on debut for England as well. So no, can't do it.
They want to put him in the Lions conversation?
Yeah.
The Lions is going to be stacked for back rows.
Yeah, it's probably the hardest position to actually crack right now.
That's true.
Maybe there's an injury, they throw him over there for experience, something like that.
Yeah, maybe, but
who knows?
Northampton, very good.
Who's your bolter in the Lions?
Well, given that Andy Farrell's the coach, I would not surprise me to see him take Prendergast, the Irish 10.
Oh, yeah.
Just because, he's going to... I mean, Prendergast will benefit if he goes on the tour with Ireland because they're playing, I think, Georgia.
I'd rather see Crawley.
Crowley, for fuck's sake. Mr. Crawley is the guy from Downton Abbey. No, that's Frawley. No, it is Crawley.
No, that's Mr. Bates.
Master Bates.
Mr. Bates?
Jack Crowley?
I'd rather see him.
Okay.
I prefer him than Prendergast.
Well, he might take both. He could take 3 10s.
Oh, God.
He might not take Smith. Who knows? But,
my concern with Farrell is he can become one of the things I think cost them in 2019 and then cost them
Loyalty.
Well, his just refusal to sort of mix up his squad a little bit. It's
He's
just
very consistent.
same guys playing the same positions every week, and they're a high quality team. And
Sometimes that's benefited him. Like remember when they came
100%,
when they came down
100%.
here, they lost the first test at Eden Park,
It didn't
and then
change
there were
shit.
people who were like, oh, I need to change this guy, I need to change that guy, and he was like, fuck it. He named exactly the same team.
Yeah,
It was either the same 15 or even the same 23, but he was like, no, I back these guys to do a job, and he was
was 100%
justified
right.
in that one. But yeah. There's a fine balance of bringing in the young blood and leaving the other guys out.
It's a fine balance.
But I wouldn't be surprised if he took Prendergast for experience.
Seriously.
Prendergast played fucking well for Leinster. But it's easy to play well, when you've got a pack going forward, like they're going forward.
100%. Would you say Leinster are the most hated team in Europe?
Yeah, people don't like Leinster.
No, they don't.
Because they've got lots of good players.
Yeah.
They're just like, we're just going to bring on Geordie Barrett for just half a season.
Yeah, why not? He looked great the weekend though, didn't he?
They look very good.
On defense and attack, both sides of the ball, as they say.
He's a good player. Hey, looking at the Kane season, he must be thinking, pretty glad I'm in Dublin right now.
Well, maybe he'd be helping the Canes get a few more dubs
Yeah, maybe.
if he was in the.
Although their midfields looked all right. Like
I'm sure but Geordie meant to be available for us for the French series.
Mm-hmm.
Right, so we'll slide him in there, see how he goes. He'll be as pale as that poor bastard is winter after winter after winter. He's in an endless winter.
Yeah.
Really. Yeah. Ruthless. There'll be just one nice sunny day in that part of the world before he leaves, and he'll be like, "Oh, I'm going back to July, New Zealand."
Yeah, exactly. It's pretty horrendous.
Yeah, and
Very wet.
it's not that we haven't had too much crappy weather so far.
No.
At all. It's been
pretty reasonable.
Been pretty good. Weather chat with
2 cents. Getting distracted. Rugby podcast.
There you go. Fantastic. You know what's good about this? I don't have to slide a sponsor in.
Yeah. We didn't get any sponsors.
We're up. Yeah. Do you think it's part of it is that this is the
Quiet season?
This is the hardest time. Every year we do this. We end on a high. We start on a good high. We end on a high, and I'm like, yeah, we'll go around it. That was good fun. And I still have a lot of good fun doing this.
Yeah.
But these are the hardest weeks to do when it's just
I
like...
often text you in the morning on a Monday. I'm like, are we podcasting or doing the pod? And like often during the peak season, you'll reply very quickly. Like, yes. Today there was a gap between my text to you and your reply.
I had no reason not to.
Okay.
But I was thinking to myself, I don't know what the hell I'm going to talk about. But I sat here on a microphone.
Never stopped you before.
It's true. It's very, very true. But I watched. It's so hard when you just don't
What did you think of Leinster
give
in Glasgow?
that much of a fuck.
52-0.
Just pretty inconsequentially nothing. Like they're obviously Leinster are a very, very good team. It was sad to see
Glasgow
get hammered to that extent, especially considering last year's performance. But
in the URC.
yeah, but it is what it is. It was no surprises. It's nice to see Geordie Barrett get up. Nice to see some happy Irish people. But would have I watched those highlights if I wasn't watching, wasn't going to have to talk about them? Probably not.
52-0 is pretty emphatic.
Yeah. I wouldn't show that to somebody I'm trying to convince to watch rugby.
There's not a lot in it for the neutrals unless you just want to see some tries.
Yeah, exactly. Go watch 7.
The other one was the Bordeaux against Munster game.
I don't know who won this. So this is the one game I didn't catch any of the. Where was it played?
Bordeaux were at home.
Oh, bugger.
They've got Maxime Luku, who's usually Antoine Dupont's backup.
Yeah,
at
who's
9.
been playing very well.
Jalibert at 10. They got Damien Penaud.
I really want
and
Munster
they've got
at 1.
Louis Bielbiere.
And Munster beat La Rochelle last week.
Yes, Munster beat La Rochelle. Munster had Tyke Bird and Jack Mr. Crowley.
Yeah.
Frawley.
Mr. Bates. I'm going to say, against my better judgment, that Munster won.
They did not.
Fuck. I was hoping that they won. What was the score?
It was... Munster got 29.
What?
29.
Oh.
And Bordeaux got 47.
Ouch.
Yeah.
Defense
Bordeaux
option.
went out to like I can't even remember how much. It was like 20. It was like 3 tries to 0 lead.
All right.
And then Munster would like get back within 2 scores, and then Bordeaux would score again.
Okay.
Back within 2 scores, score again.
Fantastic. Have we covered enough rugby? Is it time to talk about the real sporting events of the day?
BLBRA got a try. Peno got a try.
Some serious
So those
gas.
French
Was it a
wingers.
kick ahead try?
BLBRA one was late. Was it a kick ahead? I can't even remember.
Yeah, right.
It's been that much rugby.
Right.
The Northampton game had a kick ahead try for the fucking hooker, Langdon.
Wow.
That one was pretty sweet.
There was that big head-on-head contact, and he sort of put a toe in touch in the Northampton game.
That's true.
Yeah, that was
There was
excellent.
yellow cards in this game, so penalty counts were pretty high across the board.
It was a three-way. In the Northampton
yeah,
game, there was
but-
a three-way yellow card,
That's right.
which was silly.
That's right. But I mean, the
Like that just
scorelines-
seemed like the referee just got his ego just going
he's
out of
just like,
control.
fuck you players.
Yeah, like
What do you think
fuck
about
you
it?
fans
The
as
fact
well?
that the scorelines are 52-0, 47-29, and 51-16, plus the close game, which was 21-18. Is that a problem, or do you think that's just shit happens?
That's just I don't know. That's just rugby, isn't it? Like and
It's
I don't know.
quarterfinal stage.
I don't know, because I think you would have to, if you looked at it in a historical context beyond this year, these results would be more of an aberration than a consistent sort of trend. Like this will be, these are outliers, aren't they? Is there something going on, or something? Has there been a rule change or something like that that is causing?
I think in recent
And
years...
is this prevalent across the top
there
14
tends to
Premiership
be,
and
from
URC?
From what Champions Cup I've watched over the last
What's
5
this one?
years or so, Rugby World Cup. Rugby, yeah. There always seems to be like 4 or 5 teams who are like genuine contenders in the Champions Cup. Like in recent years, it's been La Rochelle, Leinster, Toulouse, and then just prior to that was like Exeter and Saracens and like Racing 92. There's been like a handful of teams who are like genuine contenders, and
Well,
everyone else is kind of an also
It's interesting that we just, in terms of, like, it's just geographically, but we've never been able to see how the Chiefs go against Northampton or how Toulouse goes against the Crusaders. Or
The
anything
closest we've had is seeing the South African teams go from Super Rugby to the URC.
like that. Yeah.
That's the closest we've had, because the South African teams winning the URC straight after leaving Super Rugby
A tournament
made
that,
me think like maybe New Zealand rugby is really good,
well,
because these guys couldn't win Super Rugby for years, and
Yeah.
then they go into that competition first year and both the finalists, South African
Yeah.
teams. But then also it's a very different story traveling up to Europe compared to traveling fucking halfway across the
yeah.
world. So
But yeah,
it's not really apples with apples.
it's not. And they haven't won since, have they?
Stormers won it the first year, Munster won it the second year, Glasgow won it the third year. So
Yeah.
no, just
We're
the
in our
one.
4th year now. But yeah. Anyway, is it time to talk about the real sporting events of the day?
Leinster are going to play Northampton in a month's time,
Leinster will win.
and then Bordeaux is going to host Toulouse. That'll be a
Toulouse.
cracker.
I think
I think it's
Toulouse.
on at 2 o'clock in the morning.
I probably won't watch it.
Fuck that shit. I think Northampton Leinster's like 4:30.
What
I may
an
get up for that
exciting
one.
rugby podcast. Our opinions on exciting games coming up. I won't watch it, and fuck that shit. There
Just
you
don't
go.
like the kickoff times. French rugby usually loves a good afternoon kickoff.
What are you looking at?
I just saw the camera flashed up with some words, but maybe not. The red light's still
If
flashing.
you're watching this, there's no problem. If you're not watching this, I apologize.
Okay, we have talked rugby. You want to talk about the Warriors going down?
No, I don't want to talk about the Warriors
to the
losing to the
Storm.
fucking Storm again. It's not what I want to talk about. Volk.
Volkanovski.
Volk, the
That sounds like
36-year
a fighter's name.
It does.
What's the origin of that name?
Macedonian.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Is it related to Alexander?
His name is Alexander the Great.
Okay.
Volkanovski.
Philip
yeah.
being his granddad or something?
Philip is his granddad.
Well, wasn't Philip Alexander's dad, Philip of Macedon? Or am I getting that wrong?
Maybe you are. Didn't he like trying to, and his father got murdered or something like that? And then,
That's
did
right.
he get murdered by a Persian king? And then he eventually killed that king in the Great Battle of Gaugamela.
Gaugamela. I remember he defeated Darius a few times.
Yeah, was that a Gaugamela?
There was a few battles, yeah. One of them was Gaugamela.
Like, then they stayed up all night just waiting for them, and Alex
That's
was
right.
like, "No, we're gonna have a fucking nap."
Yeah.
Had a good sleep, and then got his boys all riled up, and
Yep.
then rode some fucking.
He used to like riding his horses like straight through.
Yeah,
and then
create a
Darius would be
penetrable
like-
trap,
yeah.
and then like
Darius
getting
would be
out.
like, "Fuck this shit." And ran off.
Battle of
and sold-
Gaugamela was a
soldiers.
cracker, probably its best work, I reckon.
Did you watch that movie Alexander with Colin Farrell?
No,
I remember that one had terrible.
I just
reviews.
remember this shit from fucking classics.
Diet took classics.
Yeah,
It's Greek vase
yeah,
painting and all that kind of stuff.
Oh, that was stuff. I really liked. We did Octavius,
Okay.
which I always had glandular fever for that term. So I had glandular fever. This is my marks in the exam. There was one essay I had to do about Octavius, and I got 4 out of 25.
Yowza.
And then for the one on Alexander the Great, I had to do, I can't remember what it was. And then I got 21 out of 25 for that because it's far more interesting. So it evened out as 50%.
Okay.
But I did the other thing I used to like Aristophanes,
Okay.
the Greek playwright who wrote all like the wasps and the bees
did
and all
all
that sort of stuff.
the-
Wrote a lot of shit about Dionysus.
Okay. All the drinking.
Yeah,
We
all the
did all
drinking
the-
and fucking,
Who was the ones with the?
sticking his dick in places.
Okay. That's how you get the clap.
Yeah. Yeah.
What was the guy who did the red herring? Who's the guy that play comes from? The guy who did the. What do you even call those stories which are like
Or the
subtle
it's not a
digs at people?
Oh, like a satire.
Yeah, the satire, juvenile
Oh, right.
satires.
Yeah, right.
We did
They
those.
like that shit over there.
Yeah,
They
I quite
like
like
to
that.
dig.
Yeah, we did Greek vase painting.
No,
That
Greek
was
vase painting sucks my ass.
cool. That was all right.
We did Roman architecture.
Okay, I think we did
And
that.
then we went to Rome the next year, and I was like, "Holy shit, that's from that book."
Nice, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, it was kind of cool. But anyway, this is not what we're meant to be talking about.
Volkanovski.
Volkanovski. Okay, Volkanovski
You reckon he knows
he
any
bet.
Greek
I
vase
don't want to talk about him for too long, but he became the oldest champion in the lightweight divisions. Nobody under lightweight has ever won post 35. He's almost 37. He bet Diego Lopez, a very, very, very strong up and comer. Oh, like an absolute savage, actually. Quite handily. Probably 4 rounds to 1, but 3 rounds to 2, definitely. It's become the 2-time champion, Alexander Volkanovski, the great man. Paddy the Batty took down Michael Chandler. Paddy the Batty's always been underrated, and Michael Chandler's a game motherfucking fighter. Paddy the Batty got up and did it in style. Bryce Mitchell got his fucking lights cut off in very, very satisfying fashion by, forgotten his name, but the reason it was satisfying, Bryce Mitchell is this redneck fuckwit who has these very strange conspiracy views, but has most recently on a podcast talked about his fondness of one Adolf Hitler. So it was very, very satisfying for
Him to get knocked the fuck
It
out.
wasn't knocked the fuck out, just
Oh.
choked the fuck out.
Okay.
Lights out on the canvas. But anyway,
Hitler's kind of a hard one to get behind
yeah, it is.
because, most of history is kind of like grey.
Yes.
Like a lot of people get portrayed as like villains or heroes depending on who's right in the history, but
And who won?
he's one that's kind of like pretty much
You can hear it in
universally-
his rhetoric about Jews and stuff
Yeah,
like that.
it's
You're
just a
like,
piece of shit.
yeah, an absolute piece of shit.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, you can say that around pretty much all companies safely, even
Yeah.
Germans. You know,
Exactly.
and they'll be
Especially
like,
Germans.
Yeah, they fucking hate him. It's an interesting moment for young Germans when they realize when they're growing up that they were the bad guys. Apparently,
Yeah.
there's a moment they all had to come to and like, oh,
Oh damn.
we were the bad guys.
Yeah.
Anyway, so great card for UFC 314. Fantastic card. If those of you watched it, you would agree.
I didn't watch it. Just FYI.
It's okay. It's all right. I don't.
Too
blame
busy
you.
watching the Warriors get
But
beaten, still.
maybe one of the greatest majors of all time
Tony likes golf.
happened this morning.
Some of you Irish fans probably like this news.
The great man Rory McIlroy, after 14 years of waiting to complete his Grand Slam of majors, finally fucking did it.
He gets a green jacket.
He gets a green jacket, and just the amount of pent-up relief and joy that just came over me when he did it was massive. But just the way
feel
he
your
did it,
prostate?
it was hard work, man. He had a very, very good lead. So he starts the day, right?
Yeah.
He starts the day 13 under, something like that. He's got Bryson DeChambeau in the final group with him. DeChambeau's a YouTuber. I quite like Bryson as
You've
well.
showed me his videos, I think.
So it was billed like this massive, blockbuster battle between these two individuals, made even spicier due to the fact that Bryson DeChambeau beat him at last year's US Major by one shot on the final putt after bloody McIlroy missed 2 3-footers after getting like 500 3-footers in a row, missed 2 3-footers on the final 2 holes of the
Kinda
US
choked
Major. Choked it big time. Anyway, so they start playing today. Fucking good old Mac.
He's in
Everyone's
the lead.
no, yeah, he's leading. He's playing. He had a very interesting tournament. But he's leading. He's 13
Leading by how many shots?
by 2 shots.
So if he just plays pretty good, he should be sweet.
There's so much more to come.
Okay.
Okay, so he's 13 under. Bryson DeChambeau is 11 under. They both start with pretty poor tee shots. DeChambeau manages to scramble out a par, which was
Right.
pretty good.
Don't tell me McIlroy bogeys it.
He double bogeys it.
So they're at evens.
Even Stevens. Holy fuck knuckle. Right. So then you're like, oh God, here we go.
I don't really watch golf. I don't watch golf, but you're selling it to
It's
me.
the tension. You're just like, oh no,
He's gonna do it again.
this can't be happening. Next
Has
hole.
he come close to the Masters before?
Yeah. He in 2011 he was winning by 3 shots and shat the bed.
2011?
He's been going
The
since
year we won the World Cup. When Richie McCaw.
He's been going since 2008. He's the greatest golfer of our generation. Obviously, he's not quite the same generation as Tiger Woods.
Post-Tiger generation.
But he's a freak, and
Golf
he's there and
they can play for
thereabouts.
ages, can't they?
Well, yeah, like fucking 2-time player was 74, almost made the cut this year. Was he 74? I've forgotten. 2-time Masters champion. I've forgotten his name. Old bloke, obviously. I can't remember his name. Anyway,
Gary Player. Technical.
was it
VJ
Gary
Singh.
Player? I don't know. If you just pulled out the right name, it's going to be irritating. Anyway, so he and then in the next hole he pars it, but then did Bryson birdie it? Anyway, somehow Bryson gets the lead on the second or the third.
Okay.
And you're just thinking, oh shit, here we go.
He's
He's
choking it
10
again.
under. Bryson's now managing to stay at 11 under or something along those lines. Then on the third he comes back with a par. Bryson goes with a bogey. There's another 2-shot swing. He takes the lead back. Then he starts to play relatively consistently.
Oh, consistent. Okay.
Gets himself in some tricky spots. Has some windows to get out of. The ninth was interesting. Plays some fantastic shots.
Are you watching this, like, shot by shot?
Yeah, I'm watching it. It's
How long does this take?
too long.
We're talking
A couple of hours.
Oh, fuck.
So a few hours. So it's just
Does
so
the
compelling.
coverage mostly stay on him, or is it going around to all the other?
No, like when they
There's a
take
lot of walking
so
around,
they
isn't
take
there?
a tee shot, right? And then if it's a par 5 or something like that, they're going to have a wee walk, and then they'll cut to this guys doing really good shots or guys making moves throughout the field.
And they cut back to the leaders.
Then they cut back to the leaders, and then you always see the kind of leader shot. So you saw a lot of Bryson and McIlroy. This was billed like the biggest heavyweight fight of all time.
Golf.
Sunday at the Masters at Augusta, like these two who are building this kind of special little rivalry. It was fucking massive. Like the golf world is just jizzing all over itself right now. Okay. Anyway, so he starts to play quite consistently. DeChambeau, his irons completely disappear.
Someone stole them. Or...
Yeah, someone may as well have nicked them. Anyway, he's spraying it right. He's spraying it left. He's picking up bogeys here and there. He starts. He's dropping down. He goes 9 under. He goes 8 under. He finishes his round at 6 under. He doesn't have a good day.
Oh wow.
Yeah, so he goes out of it. So you think, fuck, it's all
McIlroy's
there.
is gonna piss it in.
Yeah, McIlroy's going to take this in. Then we've got Arberg coming up. We've got a Justin Rose who had a fantastic day one, sort of in the mix as well. They're going all right. Justin Rose started the day. He had
Rose or Rhodes?
Rose.
Rose,
like
the
Axl
flower.
Rose. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. He started his day
Not
one.
like the Colossus of.
No, not the Colossus of Rhodes.
Yeah.
I don't know that character.
It's one of the wonders of the world.
Oh, is that the?
Yeah.
Oh, that guy. Anyway, am I giving you too much? Am I giving you too much detail?
It's a lot of golf chat.
Okay, let me get. So anyway, so Axl Rose,
Rose comes out.
Justin Rose starts just playing like a freak show that day. He's birding shit all over. He's stringing birdies.
He's got no pressure on him.
He's got pressure on him, but he's playing on the fucking final day of the Masters.
But he's not leading.
And he's in content. Well, no, he's getting birdie, but he's getting birdie. Arberg starts playing well.
I'm sure there's more pressure on the leader.
So anyway, he gets to So our man McIlroy, who we're waiting for, who hasn't won one for 14 years, we've been waiting to win the Grand Slam for all this time, is still just waiting there on the precipice, and everyone's going, he can do it. This has got to be it.
They call it a Grand Slam.
Yeah. They call it a Grand Slam once you get all the majors.
Oh.
Yeah. So it's all going to happen. He can do it. Come to the 13th. What does he do?
Bogeys it.
He double bogeys it. He fucking does a terrible shot, chips it into the creek, picks up a double bogey. I think on the same hole, Justin Rose gets on the same time. They're not on the same hole, obviously, playing in different groups. Justin Rose birdies it. 3-shot swing. It's all tied up. They're both sitting there at 11 under.
That's pretty cool.
Cause
has Justin ever won the Masters?
He has gone into a playoff once before against Sergio Garcia and lost it. And I think he's won the US Open once before.
Okay. He's pretty good.
Yeah, he's pretty fucking good. Yeah. So anyway, it comes down to Justin Rose is on 10 under. They were both on 10 under at that time. Justin Rose birdies the final one to get it to 11 under. Sets a bit of a target. McIlroy bounces back, keeps his head. I think he gets another bogey after 13, but then he comes back with an incredible look at eagle, which would put him another 2 under. He misses the eagle putt, gets an easy birdie putt, puts him on 11 under.
So he's tied up.
He's tied up. It all comes down to the 18th hole.
Oh, so it's literally the last hole.
Well, I haven't taken you through it shot by shot.
No, but I mean, it comes down to the last hole.
Oh, 100. Oh, yeah, it goes beyond the last hole.
Oh.
So it comes down to... So
when he gets to the 18th, is he in front? Is he behind?
So when he gets to the 18th, he's in front.
Okay.
He's on 12 under.
And the other guy's
the other guy's on 11 under.
So if he just pars it, he's all good.
If he just pars it, he's all good.
And he fucks it up.
He does a fantastic drive.
Oh, nice.
Beautiful drive. Like A1 position. Then he
Is that really a term? A1?
Oh. Yeah, like the best position you can be in. So, but then with his approach shot, I think he's maybe 155. Par 4.
Okay.
He instead he's got an approach shot. He sprays it a little bit to the right, goes in a bunker. Bunker's okay. These guys are pros. They in this environment
bunkers for breakfast.
But yeah, they should go up and down most of the time. They'll pick up the odd bogey here and there, but for the most part, in a greenside bunker, they should be able to go up and down. So up and down just means you're able to chip it off the green, onto the green, then putt it into the hole.
Just like an elevator.
Up and down. How's your day? Has ups and downs. Anyway, so he chips it out of the bunker. Half decent shot. Probably wanted to put a little bit more on it. Then he has a 5-footer. A 5-footer.
That's not even as long as I am.
No. It's not. Here's a 5-footer to win the major, to win the Grand Slam, to be counted amongst Tiger Woods and Jack Nicklaus as one of only 5 men to have won a Grand Slam in all of golf.
His destiny's 5 feet away.
5 feet away.
Less than 1-2 cents rugby.
Less than. That's what they were saying on the commentary.
I'm 6'4". That's well less than me.
And then Justin Rose is out there. And
distracting
the range,
him, like, hey,
no, he's on the range doing his things, and he slightly pulls it, misses his putt. After 14 years of waiting, and you think,
what's the look on his face like?
Just like very serious. You could tell there's a lot going on. There's tension. There's drama.
It looks like a man getting a prostate check. Doesn't know what's going on.
Oh, the crowd! There's just gasps from the crowd. It's all too much. It really, really is. So, he taps it in, but it's all tied up. They
So
go
it's
to
bogey.
That's a bogey. And then they go to the playoff hole.
How does the playoff work in golf? You just play shots, just play holes until somebody gets...
Sudden death.
Sudden death.
Sudden death.
Next point wins.
So Justin Rose and Justin Rose and Axl Rose. Justin Rose and McIlroy go. They're friends. They both play in Team Europe for a Ryder Cup and all that sort of thing.
Where's Justin Rose from?
England.
Oh, okay. So it's England against Northern Ireland.
Yeah. So Justin Rose tees off first, does a lovely drive. Then fucking McIlroy goes, pumps it. Probably even a better drive than his last one. Gets himself back into A1 position. Then Justin puts in a great approach shot. Probably, and then he is putting himself at about 13 foot for a look at birdie. Going
That's
slightly.
More than 1 2 cents rugby. It's a couple of 2 cents rugbies.
Yeah. So he puts himself at about 13 foot, which is a gettable putt for these guys. Slippery, tricky, but gettable. Mm-hmm. So all the pressure
is on
McIlroy to do a fantastic approach shot. So he does his approach shot, 14 years of pressure. After having that 5-footer to win it, you think this will be a moment to get it to him. He fucking sticks it about 3.5 to 4 foot. Oh, just crowd goes absolutely nuts. So that's a hell of a shot. Sticks it right in there. Very, very spicy conditions out there. Very fast greens. It's a hell of a shot. It really, really is.
Okay. So it means more pressure on Justin to get his next one.
So Justin's like, well, I've got to look at this. He's gone from a position of going, well, if I get that in, I'm going to put all the pressure on him. But it should be a foregone conclusion that
so if Justin doesn't get this, then he's likely fucked.
So he reads the putt for a good 15 minutes. There's not 15 minutes, but there's a lot of reading the putt, and then he finally takes it. He just misses it.
By much?
Not by much, but he misses it. It doesn't matter by how much you miss it.
Is it close enough that he didn't just taps it in, or does?
Yeah, he taps it in afterwards.
Okay.
So he taps it in afterwards. So then it's all on our man.
This time even closer than the last one.
Even closer than the last one, but. There's this thing still overhanging him. He lost the US Major after getting so many 3-footers in a row. He missed 2 3-footers. Crazy close. Like the length of your toe to your bloody just above your knee. Like he missed 2 3-footers in a row to lose the bloody US Major last year. So you're still sitting there going, oh my God. After 14 years, you're still not thinking he's going to get it. And then finally he sacks up. Taps it in, and then he just loses his shit completely. And then I showed you the celebration. How would you describe that?
Well, now
celebration?
that I've got the context, that kind of makes more sense.
Oh,
it just seemed like he hit a really easy putt, and then he was like fucking crying, and I'm like, okay, golf, eh?
Golf. It's a strange game, but no, a sport at its greatest pinnacle. It was quite a thing, and we'll see what he can do from here. But he's maybe the best player of this generation and can now count himself as one of the all-time greats. 35.
Oh, okay. Still pretty young.
Yeah. Been playing 17th attempt at the Masters.
It's not that bad. 1 in 17.
Yeah, but he's the man. He's been playing.
Joins Vijay Singh.
Well, no, not Vijay Singh.
Long list of Masters winners.
Yeah, you don't discount Vijay Singh. I really need to pee, so let's...
Oh, well, you told the fucking longest golf story. You could have sped that up. There could have been a few details cut there. You don't get to tell that long story and then be like, oh, now I need a piss. Well,
do I pee or do I have to do a pee break?
We can wrap it up.
Okay, fantastic. All right, well, there you go. You got through my massive golf story. How was that?
It was all right.
Yeah, and I apologize for any golf fans out there if I got any details wrong, which I'm pretty sure I would have.
You got the
gist of it.
Right.
But it was amazing to see. Heck of a thing. All right, Mark.
Well done, Rory McIlroy.
And well done to you for getting through all of that. Really appreciate it.
There will be more rugby again next week. Super Rugby's back on. The URC's back on.
Everything's back on.
If you want to sponsor the podcast, if you want to run a golf shop.
Yeah. We've never had a golf sponsor.
Doesn't have to be golf. It could be a boxing gym.
All right, my eyeballs are floating. Let's move on. All right, good on you, Mark.
Take care, folks.
Arida. See you later.